Welcome to the GAVIN Fi Podcast, created and hosted by the GAVIN Financial Services PR team. GAVIN is a national brand communications agency that specializes in public relations and digital marketing for financial services clients. On today's episode, I'm joined by Mark Weiskind, President and Partner of Wealth Advisory Services at Fairway Wealth Management based in Independence, Ohio. Thank you, Mark, for joining me today on the GAVIN Fi Podcast. Can you share a little bit about Fairway and the firm's story?
I helped co-found the firm back in 2002. Background was as a CPA. I worked for one of the big CPA firms, and myself and a guy named Dan Gogler co-founded Fairway. So the role we play is kind of in that multifamily office, personal CFO type of practice. So we're really advising across the entire personal wealth spectrum, a particular emphasis on taxes and after-tax results, sort of given our backgrounds. We work with about 300 families across the country, clients in 30 different states. We currently have about 3.2 billion of AUM. So we're a good size boutique firm, 23 people.
Great. Well, I'm excited for our conversation today. We're going to be talking a little bit about how wealth management firms can evolve their brand and client experience in a way that deepens the trust that they've built, and what integrated marketing looks like when the client relationship is at the center of every decision. So we'll just jump in. Fairway has been building relationships with its clients for more than 20 years, as you mentioned. When you think about the brand refresh that you carried out earlier this year, what did you want clients to feel when they experienced the firm's new website and refreshed visual identity for the first time?
Yeah, so it probably helps to give a little bit of background on kind of why we got started. So it really started a bit with us wanting to just provide a little more of a cohesive look and feel across what we were doing, especially in different mediums, from our website to our social media to some of our marketing materials. We'd done a lot of things sort of ad hoc over the years and would end up sort of starting from scratch every time we're starting new. We started in 2002, our brand, our logo, everything, our color scheme had really been the same from that point until this past year. So we wanted to do something that had a little more of a modern look, a little bit different in terms of color scheme. So we started playing around with a bunch of different logos, looking at different things, looks and feels. And we eventually came to this conclusion that sort of this simple monogram, just FWM, sort of with the name Fairway Wealth Management, really spoke to who we are and our firm's identity, because we're about our people. Right, is kind of what we, stake we put in the ground. We're about our commitment to service. We preach to our clients like simple over complex. Transparency is important. Tax efficiency is important. We're not about like flash and salesmanship, but service and results. So we talk about service and results. And so that image we were really trying to convey was like, we are who we are. We're not this, we don't need to be fancy or complicated, but sort of classy and classic. It was sort of the look and feel we were trying to go for.
Yeah, I think that you guys have really accomplished that modern update and bringing the cohesion to the brand. Building on that, the updated brand really centers on values like you've mentioned: service, transparency, simplifying complexity. How do you and your team ensure that the visual identity reflects what your clients experience day to day?
So I think for the most part, it's who we've always been. Right. And it's who we plan to continue to be. So I don't think what we do and are doing, sort of prospectively changes just based off of, hey, we have a little bit look and feel that's different than what it was before. Our clients, they hear from us a lot. We return their calls and emails right away. Like, we keep things simple. We communicate, again, in terms that clients can understand, kind of trying to bring complex topics into more simple conversations in terms that they can understand. And so, I think our look is about that, but I don't think that really changes in any way how we do business, other than really sort of emphasizing, tying how we do business with our look and feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like the look is more of a reflection of how you guys carry yourselves and the business that you do rather than vice versa.
Exactly. The look's who we are. We're not trying to create who we are going to be based off of some
Right.
rebranding of anything. We're not rebranding, what our values are.
For a firm like Fairway, where the advisor relationship is the primary channel of communication, how do you think about the role of your digital presence, your media coverage, or your website as ways to reinforce the client-advisor relationship?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So I think for a lot of years, we did very little marketing, especially in places like media or digital. Our business, like I think a lot of firms' businesses, grew based off of client referrals and word of mouth and those types of things. And that worked. We've built a good, successful business. But, one of the things we really started to realize more and more was people had no idea who we were, right? Like we've got this big, successful firm, and yet we get in front of a prospect or a COI and we're like, oh, yeah, maybe I've heard of you, but they've never really heard of us. And there's so many more people that we think we could help. So part of our challenge that we're trying to solve was how do we do a better job of helping people find us in the first place, right? Bringing sort of people to recognize that Fairway exists. A big part of our focus has been on just sort of building that brand and name recognition, and not just with clients and how we're serving our existing clients, but also with COIs as an example, right? To make sure they know who we are and how we think and what we do, and maybe as important as anything else, like that we're in their consciousness when a potential opportunity arises, like that they haven't, again, forgotten that we existed. So I think it's less important for our existing clients in terms of that sort of digital presence. Like they aren't with us because we have a new website or we have a better looking LinkedIn posts or, a new brochure. But I do think it's important for them to it continues to sort of reinforce our skills and that skill set. It might prompt them to ask a question about something because they read about a blog post that we just had, or they saw something we just posted on LinkedIn. Or again, from a business development standpoint, they can, better opportunity for our clients to share not communications with them personally that might get in their personal business, but something that they saw of us, whether that's in the media or on social media or whatever, or, a blog post or a piece on some particular idea or topic, to send that off to their friend or neighbor, et cetera. That's where it's, I think, been more impactful sort of from a client perspective.
Yeah, that brand awareness is a huge foundational aspect of any business. And you really can just build upon that, right? So
Yeah.
what's your advice for wealth management firms that rely on referrals and relationships when it comes to knowing when it's time to evolve how they communicate who they are?
Yeah, I think so many firms like ours have been fortunate to grow without that traditional marketing focus and without some of the digital presence, because the referral pipeline has been good. But we all know kind of how hard organic growth continues to be. That's certainly a big industry topic these days. There's all kinds of articles and such about it. And some of it's just math with growth, right? So like percentage growth gets harder the bigger you get. So like if I look at us, when we were a $500 million firm from an asset standpoint, 50 million in new assets, which for us might be 5 to 10 clients, right? It took 5 to 10 clients to grow at 10%. Great growth if we can keep growing at 10%. But now all of a sudden we're a $3 billion firm. And so that same sort of 5 to 10 new clients is, what is that, 1.7% growth. And now it takes 30 or 40 or 50 clients to get that same percentage growth. So at some point, to solely rely on referrals as that only source for growth is an unrealistic expectation if you want your firm to continue to grow at a steady rate and generate that organic growth. So some of it, I think, is just a numbers game. And I think that's what's happened with us as we've gotten bigger. Is just we need more people to know who we are, to see us, to understand who we are and what we do, so that they're interested in talking to us. I think the other piece of it is also just consumer expectations probably have changed or evolved, right? The website is the first place any prospective client's going to go. And those that are interested start to dig deeper, right? Not just on what's on your homepage, but they're going to look at bios, and they're going to look at your LinkedIn page, and they're going to look at, content that advisors might have written. They're going to use Chat or Claude or, an AI tool to learn more. I think there's more of a desire to learn more about who you are and your philosophy and how you think and work. And so we feel like now the more we can share about those core philosophies with the world at large, the better the opportunity is going to be for us.
Looking forward, how do you see the firm and the client experience continuing to evolve or stay the same?
I think the core of our success is we communicate and serve our clients well and often. Like we tell all our people here, like no matter what we're doing, we can't let it sacrifice the most important thing, which is client service. And everybody says client service is super important, and it is. And like that is like at the bedrock of who we are. We as a firm certainly want to continue to grow, but we're not trying to grow by leaps and bounds. We're not trying to, grow at 30 or 40, 50% a year. We're trying to grow smartly, steadily, without getting away from the success that's the things that have made us successful by growing too much too fast. We like being sort of this boutique type of firm. I don't think it's going to change who we are or what we do. Again, as much as make sure that more of the world knows who we are and what we do and can find us and learn more about us and drive people more our way. Sort of technology related again is we're working on a new client portal that I think we hope helps connect our clients to connect with us and engage with us more proactively than we've been doing before. The way we deliver to clients probably continues to evolve, but what we deliver and how we deliver it, or certainly what we deliver, I don't think it's going to change a whole heck of a lot based on anything we're doing sort of from a branding technology standpoint.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for joining. How can our listeners get in touch with you and the Fairway team?
www.fairwaywealth.com is our website. All the information you probably would want to know about us is there. We're on LinkedIn. All our phone contact information, emails, etc., are all there. Welcome any questions that anybody may have.
Be sure to sign up for our quarterly GAVIN Fi newsletter at evolving-influence.com/GAVIN Fi for more insights, curated stories, and agency resources to help you explore the latest marketing strategies and industry trends. For more episodes of the GAVIN Fi podcast, visit our YouTube channel, Gavin Advertising York. To get in touch with us, email us at gavinfi@gavinadv.com. Thanks for listening to the GAVIN Fi podcast. New episodes drop every quarter, so stay tuned for the next one.